Welcome to That's on Them. We're your hosts. I'm Aspen.
And I'm Cheryl. And we're here to talk about life's challenges and how to navigate them.
Offering tried and true tips and tools.
Let's do this, baby.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Aspen. How are you, baby?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing really great. Thank you very much. It's nice and chilly here. It's really fun.
Happy, happy days. Can't complain.
Happy. Yes, happy. Happy weekend?
Great weekend. So check this out.
Okay.
I went to Taylor Swift for the first time ever. I wasn't really a fan. I mean, I was a fan in the sense that I've listened to her music, but I was not like a Swiftie and I was not keeping up with Taylor Swift. I go to the concert. I'm a Swiftie now. Just gotta say.
Our girl's a Swiftie.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, she's amazing. I'm telling this to everyone. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you like Taylor Swift or not. Go to the concert because there is something so magnetic to see 70,000 people in a stadium singing their hearts and souls out and feeling the vibration of just the power of people. Like, we have no idea how powerful we are. The vibration of all the voices, like literally shaking the stadium.
Yes.
You guys, we're powerful when we come together and work together.
Hey, what's it all about? Energy, frequency. We are just energy.
Amen.
And the frequency in that room and all these stages that she's doing is just enlightening so much. Empowerment. Look how I segued that in there. Which is actually very natural.
Yeah.
So our topic today is
powerless to empowered.
There you go.
That's it.
So what do we mean? What do we mean by powerless? Oh my gosh, we can probably go on this, powerless trip for 100 years. But the opposite of what you did when you went to this Taylor Swift concert, right? You're feeling pretty powerful. Yes. And electric.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The energy of those around you and the empowerment that she exudes during this performance empowers every single person in there. And I think there's this notion of go chase your dreams and you can achieve them. But I think tapping into that powerless feeling, not tapping into it, but going back to that powerless feeling, I think really it feels like you're out of control or you have no control of your desired outcome. Like, regardless of what you do, you cannot foster the outcome that you desire.
Same. Yeah, powerless to me is that you're facing a lot of challenges. And it's very common. It's very common for all of us to feel powerless. And very, kind of like, it's very emotional. And I'll just give a very brief story of recently my bank accounts and a couple of credit cards were hacked. And I have to tell you, as you know, because you lived through it with me, and it wasn't just one day, it ended up being 3 days.
Right.
And it was back to back. And talk about feeling powerless. My God, vulnerable. Like, what am I going to do? Talk about a challenge, right? And this is very common. People are being hacked quite often in many, many different ways. Mine happens to be through banking and a credit card. But, emails, et cetera, are being hacked all the time as well. But feeling powerless, like it was very overwhelming and it was extremely challenging. And it was kind of like, how do I regain my sense of agency, right?
Yeah.
What do I do about this? And it was, as I said, super, super overwhelming to try to tackle being powerless.
There is also something to be said about this younger generation, like my generation, for example. I find that myself as well as my peers, we get stuck in this powerless state of mind based off of like what's going on in the world and the fact that we've only been here for 2 decades and we're just trying to figure it out. And it feels like the weight of the world is on everyone's shoulders. And I've had conversations with people who are like, I don't want to have kids because I don't want to bring my kids into this world. And they're thinking about these things. And it's heartbreaking to think that people feel this powerless. And I think there's a lot of chaos going on, as we know, and we don't need to get into that. But how do you regain your power or feel empowered when you feel powerless. And I think that's really what we want to talk about today. How did you regain that empowered feeling after your bank accounts were hacked or, other scenarios? And I can speak to my experience as well.
So for me, because I do have such a community here, I'm so blessed that way that I literally went and told a friend with tears in my eyes, right? And then I decided that, okay, I've got to figure out what I have to do. Like, what are the steps? I mean, obviously you have to call the company and get on the phone and deal with all of that kind of stuff. And it's a little different when you live in a different country because you can't just walk into your bank and say, hi, I'm here and here's my accounts and here's what happened.
Right.
So one was just that I had to really get pretty clear on what my next steps were, what my actions were. Right. And I had to shift that negative of, oh my God, WTF and all the other stuff that comes out. And I kind of had to manage that, positivity into some action items. And I had choice to do that. Right. And I had to just kind of go, okay, I got to get on with getting on here. So I set little mini goals. Right? Here's the 4 steps I need to do today to talk to this one. And then when it happened again, that was not so much fun. And then when it happened the third time, it was super, super not fun. And the third time is when I probably, just kind of cried and just said, what is going on here? Because you feel kind of victimized as well. So it was being very aware of my thoughts, shifting them that, okay, I'm not powerless. This has just happened. It's a random, it's all computer generated. It's not like they wanted to knock on my door and, do something. Right. It was random and the accounts are random. They're all based on numbers and whatever that stuff is called. So I had to have some self-compassion. I had to basically get resilience. I had to build resilience.
Yeah. I mean, what I picked up from what you just said is it's understanding that small actionable steps build empowerment. And I know from my own experience, I've gotten stuck in old patterns and programs that maybe I've worked through already, or that something in the past was like a fearful mindset. I don't really live in a fearful mindset now, but every once in a while I'll loop back around and I'm like, what the F? What the hell? This is crazy. Aspen, you've done all this work. Why is this coming back? And you can kind of feel powerless in that moment to that old pattern and program or habit. And I think, like you said, it's small, actionable steps. And it's realizing that you have more power than you think by saying, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You go do that thing, you accomplish it, and you realize there's power in your action. And you're creating this energy, you're creating a energy of momentum for yourself. And the more you do it and the more you chip away at it, the more empowered you're going to feel. I don't think what I found a lot of the times is some people will preach just be empowered, take on that mindset. And it's like, wait, how do you even do that? That stuff's never worked for me. I have to do something, accomplish something to really feel empowered. And even when you don't want to do it, unfortunately, it might be like meditation. I get resistance to meditation. No, but go meditate. You're going to feel empowered after you do it. You're going to feel confident, okay, check something off the list. Or your garage that you've been meaning to clean out. I'm going to go organize one cupboard in that garage today. And that one step is empowering you. And I think the greater message is we all underestimate our own power and our own impact that we have in this world. Simply by you taking those small steps to regain your power, to empower yourself to, get control of the banking situation. You don't know it, but you're going out in the world and you might be in the coffee shop, and the way you talk to the barista or talk to the person or smile at someone is empowering them. It's giving that it's an exchange of energy of I feel good and you should feel good too.
And again, everything, how do I want to say this? There are many forms of powerlessness, and we do understand that people are really feeling powerlessness in many situations in the world. Right. We're not in any way negating that and negating the strength of it. What we are saying is try to empower yourself by having a little bit of a shift with respect to your energetic field that says, I can do this. I have this. No one has the power over me.
Right.
Because really, no one does. And we shouldn't give it to other people.
Right. Yeah. And I think the sentiment of today's message is you are more powerful than you think you are.
See,
you do move the current of people, of the energy around you. We all do. So today, I think the overall message is take a small actionable step and let those steps build on each other and be patient, because that energy is going to start to build. You're building confidence in yourself, which leads to empowerment, feeling empowered. Okay, so we have a question. Should we dive into it?
Yes.
All right. Hi, Cheryl and Aspen. I'm a writer in LA and I've been on strike for the past 3 months. In honor of all of us trying to find ways to get through this time feeling angry and uncertain about the futures, what tools would you recommend? I already know that's on them. In parentheses, studios with a smiley face. Great question. I mean, I think this is literally the definition of feeling powerless, because the people that give you work are basically blowing you off and undermining your value. So this is the definition of feeling powerless. I think what I would recommend is looking at the people around you right now. Like, what I've seen from this whole strike is the amount of people that are supporting each other and loving each other. And what I know is that the frequency of respect and love and community will always, always overturn evil, disrespect, and all those negative things that the studios are basically looking down or doing to these talented, creative people. So I would say, remember that what you're doing right now and standing up for the right thing, you're doing the right thing, and it's having an impact whether you see it right now or not. Like, the tide is going to turn if you guys stick together. Unity will win.
I think you make a good point with community, right? And positivity and uniting. And I think, being a born and raised Catholic girl, religion was a big form of praying for people, right? And helping to heal whatever an injured person or a family member or whatever it is. And I still believe in that practice, even though I'm not practicing. And you make a really good point. When community comes together and there's unity with it, and there's an energetic shift of positivity will win, period. And they're taking, some are taking bold action steps, some are taking small action steps, but every single person that you're associating with our person that asked this question is in the same mindset with, let's take some action, let's shift this. Because if we don't shift it today, what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So I would say, don't doubt that change will not happen. Believe that change will happen. Visualize the change that you see. Manifest the change that you see by visualizing it, by chanting it to yourselves, right? Whatever that looks like, bring that positivity. But I am going to put a caveat on this. Don't bring positivity that reflects negativity to someone else. That will not work. The universe does not work that way. If you want to really, really empower the mission, yourself, the people around you, believe in it with grace, with dignity, with respect. Put out, mirror what you want back to receive, and teach some lessons in a very respectful, mindful way. Now, that might sound like a lecture, but it really does. What you put out, you will attract back. Right. In 1,000-fold. So just try to keep that mindset as positive as you can.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Oh, thank you, my
What
love.
you put out is what you will receive. And the intention behind it is so important. Couldn't agree more. All right. Well, we got one more question that I just have to read it, and we don't have time to jump into it, but it will lead into something later. And this is, someone asked, can you talk about borrowing trouble when things are good in your life and getting sucked back into negative biases? Cheryl, take it away.
Oh, Madonna Mia. Okay, we are totally out of time on this, but I will just say I'm looking forward to talking about this next week.
Yes.
The teaser is a little self-esteem there. Little ego there. A little denial and a little in your own way.
Little self-sabotage.
A little self-sabotage, a little in our own way. But the cool thing is that we all get in our own way. So it's okay. Right now, lighten up. And next week, we'll talk about it.
Yep. We'll jump right into it. All right, guys. We love you. Have a fabulous week. And if you could please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, it helps us dearly. And please, if you don't mind, send this link to someone that you love that might be needing this extra support right now. This is how we continue to do what we do and spread our message. So we love you. Have a fabulous week and go crush it. That's On Them is hosted by Aspen, Rocha, and Cheryl Paoletti. Produced by Lauren Boone and edited by Sarah Buchynski.
Love you, Tots.
See you later, Tots.